Every time you visit an Audi showroom, you're presented with lots of choices. But one of the most important you're going to make is whether to buy a car with Quattro. For those among us who aren't fluent in the language of petrolhead, it can be difficult to know exactly what this means. Well, rather than bore you with a long mechanics lesson, we've come up with 4 Quattro challenges. These will show you why directing power to every corner of the car gives you better speed, agility and control. Now, I've invited a couple of friends along to help me with these challenges. First of all, one of the greatest sprinters Britain has ever produced, Olympic medalist and 400-metre record holder, it's Ewan Thomas.
Oh, yeah?
And one of the most agile British men on 4 wheels, precision driving maestro, Paul Swift.
Hello. The maestro, 7 times British champion.
What a team.
The dream team, mate.
Now, Ewan, do you know very much about how Quattro works?
To be honest, not that much. All I know is 4-wheel drive and a real driver's car, and I can't wait to get in there.
And Paul, you are an expert driver, but can your skills really show us what Quattro is capable of?
Yeah, and I'm certainly hoping so. We'll be putting the cars through the paces today and hopefully we'll have some fun as well.
You may not realise it, but if it wasn't for Audi, ordinary motorists like us may never have had the chance to buy 4-wheel drive cars. It's been nearly 30 years since Quattro first made its mark, but can it still make waves? Well, that's what we're here to find out. We've come up with 4 tests for the 4-wheel drive, designed to show you how Quattro works and why you might want to own it. Ewan Thomas is one of the greatest 400-metre runners Britain has ever produced. But did you know if he had twice the number of legs, he'd be twice as fast? To prove our point, we entered Ewan into a race that's a little bit different from your standard one lap of the track. Now, Ewan, I know that your career in athletics has taken you all over the world. Venues such as Atlanta, Athens, Sydney, Johannesburg.
Zurich, Lucerne, Oslo, literally everywhere around Europe.
You are very well travelled, but I bet you've never competed anywhere quite like this before.
I don't think I have.
This is Wimbledon Stadium, and as you might have guessed, it's not your average athletics track. Because today, Ewan, your opponent is not your average runner.
You are joking, aren't you? I'm not going to have a chance.
Well, you're probably right. Have you got any idea how quickly a greyhound can run 400 metres in?
I have actually, not been a nerd, but I've heard they run about 430 metres in about 26 seconds.
Well, I think we should compare you and a greyhound.
Fine.
Are you up for the challenge?
So up for the challenge.
Good luck.
Okay.
He's going to need it.
As they head for the line, it's an emphatic victory for our 4-legged friend.
Go on, hit me with it.
Well, you started from round the turn to the finish, 21.85, but the dog started further back from the traps, all the way around to here in 15.5.
So it was even quicker, and I started like about maybe 50 metres in front.
Yeah, he killed you. But there is a scientific reason why, and it's partly to do with the fact that the dog has 4 legs, but you only have 2. OK, well, just to test the theory out and put it into practice, Ewan, you're going to run these 2 cars against each other along the same circuit. Now, this one is the A5 with Quattro, but this is the A5 2-wheel drive.
I think the Quattro definitely will be quicker than that.
I think you're right, definitely. Well, the circuit we've got is quite tight and twisty, so you're probably going to find with the Quattro you gain half a second every corner that you accelerate out of.
It's going to be interesting. All right, we're going to start off with the 2-wheel drive, so
Okay.
Take your seats, here we go. So now it's back to school for Ewan, driving school that is. Paul is going to show him how to get out of a situation he'd never want to find himself in, helping a stranded mate out who's run out of petrol and stuck in the middle of a field. Now, in fairness, if you were going to find yourself in this type of circumstance, you probably wouldn't be in a 2-wheel drive like this in the first place. But the purpose of this challenge is to show you that if you were in this type of scenario, you'd want to be driving a Quattro. That was impressive. A very clear difference between the 2.
Massive difference, to be honest with you. The Quattro, it was just so smooth, the power. It was almost like I wasn't towing you. And Paul was saying to me, change the angle of the steering, but nothing could help. You were basically stuck and stranded.
You weren't really very much help at
I
all.
wasn't.
But with the Quattro, the advantages of having the 4-wheel drive there is it can still push there, even though you've got no grip on the front.
Well, you made it look easy.
Yeah. Do you need a lift home?
No, I've got my own car now. Don't need your help, guys. For our third challenge, we're going to test the Quattro's performance from a standing start. To help understand more about acceleration from a stationary position, we're first going to test Ewan Thomas's performance from a standing start. So we're sending him back to the running track. Here we are at Tootingbeck Track in South London. You must feel right at home.
I feel so at home at a track, but slightly worried. I don't know what you're going to get me to do.
I'll come to that in a minute. But first, can you tell me, based on your experience as a sprinter, what's the most important part of a race?
The start.
And to get a good start, you use starting blocks.
Definitely. Blocks enable you to just use all your power, push through the block, propel yourself forward and put your opposition under pressure.
Well, we're going to test out using starting blocks versus a standing start to see which has the advantage. Now, I've searched high and low to try and find you a suitable opponent, but to no avail. So, Ewan, I'm going to ask you to race against yourself.
Myself?
Yes. Trust me on this, you go and get changed and I'll meet you back here in a minute.
Okay.
Ewan on the left will start from blocks, whilst Ewan on the right will start from an upright position behind the line.
2 marks. Set. Go.
It's a great start from Ewan in the blocks. It's over in the blink of an eye, but it's a resounding victory.
Well, I'm not sure if you're supposed to feel pleased with yourself for winning that race or a little bit disappointed for losing.
It was a bit bizarre, the weirdest race I've ever had, but it was a win-win situation. I was going to win, wasn't I?
That'll do. Take the win. Now, time to have a little bit of fun because you are going to experience the awesome acceleration of the S5 with Paul on hand to make sure you get the perfect start.
Great.
We all dread slippery conditions where the possibility of losing control and skidding makes driving a nerve-wracking experience. But with a Quattro, that scenario is all but impossible, and we're going to show you why. This specially designed surface of basalt tiles is as slippery as ice, and now Ewan is going to be shown how to cope with extreme loss of grip.
This is a bit scary, to be honest. Good for breakdancing, eh? You want to see a little bit of a moonwalk?
See some of your moves?
Yeah, well, maybe not.
No.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Go on, Paul, tell us a little bit more about this challenge.
What we've got is basically extreme conditions. This is worst case scenario you'd expect on the road.
Brilliant. Are you looking forward to this
I
one?
am, yeah. As long as I can make it to the car without falling over.
Well, that's 4 challenges done and dusted. Ewan, you must know an awful lot about Quattro now.
Maybe not everything, but I'd like to think I've learned a lot. Yeah, the performance, the capability of the car. Been very impressed.
So it's time to have a little bit of fun. Paul, what have you got planned?
I'm going to put Ewan through what he put me through earlier.
Well,
Revenge.
I think you're in for a bumpy ride. All right, guys, to the car. And I'm going to stand back. Well, we've seen what Quattro can do and how much fun you can have on 4 wheels. But you know what? There's still people out there who prefer driving on 2.